Welcome back, friends. How are you? I hope you're having a wonderful day. So, today I wanted to talk about a special person, a person who was like a father to me. My pop. May his spirit rest in peace. Pop came from a big family. I believe he had like 8 brothers and a sister, or 7 brothers and a younger sister. And the thing about him is he was so loving. You couldn't come into the room without hearing his laughter. And once you heard his laughter, it was like you felt at home with him. Very, very pleasant person. And he used to be a doorman in Brooklyn. And he said one time he saw this couple, and he could not understand. This man was like, very nice looking. And the girl, the woman that was on his side, was not the most beautiful woman. So he asked how they met. And, heart to heart, my pop was always able to pull information from people that you wouldn't ordinarily get. So the guy realized where he was really going with it. And he said, you know something? I had been in a tough relationship prior to her. And she was everything that I thought that I did, that I wanted. And she just checked all the boxes. So even though, people might make comments about maybe she's not the most beautiful on the outside, her inside is gorgeous. She's the most, pleasant person. She's always helpful. She's loving towards everybody. And because she's so beautiful on the inside, it just made sense. My pop took that answer and he went with it. Sometimes people will put other people on a pedestal just because they look a certain way. They feel like this is the type of woman, the type of man, the look that people are looking for you to be coupled with. But other people can't answer your questions. Other people can't check all those boxes. You have to look at the individual and you have to see what you see. And if that is what you like, regardless of what other people have to say, you're the one who has to deal with that person. You understand? In our society, we put so much emphasis on certain things. We put emphasis on the money the person makes. We put emphasis on the person's hair. We put emphasis on so many different things that by the time you end up with the person who you think everybody else wanted, it's not the person who's going to make you happy. You've got to find out what that is. What is your answer for beauty? I think, my own personal perspective, that if the person is beautiful on the inside, that makes them look better on the outside. Personally, that's been my thing, what I've observed. Back in the day, I used to choose guys who were bigger because I wanted to be protected, because I had not been protected throughout my childhood, and I felt like a bigger man would be able to do that. As you get older, hopefully you're getting wiser. And you have to look beyond just what society says. You have to go on what your heart says. You have to go on what God says. When you really want something, you pray for it. You say, Our Father who art in heaven, hallowed be thy name. Thy kingdom come, thy will be done on earth as it is in heaven, etc. You look at that prayer. You say the prayer. You speak with a sincere heart, and you ask for the answer. After that, then you step out on faith. We all have been in certain positions where we say, I remember this one guy in high school. I never thought he would go for my type. Never in a million years. And on prom night, he came and gave me a kiss, and I couldn't believe it. And he said, you are beautiful. Nobody had ever told me I was beautiful before then. It's a shame to say, but your parents sometimes don't look at everything. And they don't know, what to say to you sometimes. I know that my life was complicated, but I know I was a complicated child too. I had a lot of questions, but at the same time, I was very judgmental, Oh, I would never. And that's why my mother said that. That's why she said, when you look at that list, young lady, you're going to be all these different things you're putting on that list. that list gets shorter as you get older. And it gets shorter because life steps in. And you're able to see things that you might not have been able to see in your youth. As you get older, hopefully you're getting wiser. Recently, I think Sherry Shepherd's show, she spoke to a woman who was 70 years old, and she had twins. That woman didn't believe that it were possible at one point. But once you get to a point where you don't believe something, then that is your truth. You can block your blessings by not believing that something is so. You've got to believe. You've got to have faith. You've got to know that when you ask God for it and you let it go, it is going to be yours. But it really depends on you as well. It depends on, have you given something to someone else? Have you helped other people? There's this guy who I used to follow. He's in Glendale, California. What is his name? Anyway, he was a follower of Dr. Sebi as well. And he was saying how he spoke to his crystals, and how he places crystals in water, and he would basically emphasize what it was that he wanted, and then he would drink this water. Everyone has their own way of doing different things. But ultimately, I do believe that everyone knows that there's a higher authority. And when you have faith and you know that God is going to work it in your favor. Tahuti Mahatma is his name. And I got to speak to him on the phone a few times too. Very, very heavy hitter. Oh my goodness. I really wanted to go to one of his talks, but I don't know what happened to him. Hopefully he's still, believing and achieving, because his mother made a great deal of, she had a great influence on him, and how she waited before she passed away for him to come to give him her formula for life. So many people have been responsible for being influences in our lives, and my pop was definitely a great influence on me. He saw me as a daughter for him because they didn't have children, he and my aunt. But even the last time before he passed, his birthday came, and I got him a diabetic birthday cake, and he said, "Man, they got a cake for me." And he was so happy, and even the cake was kind of falling apart because the ingredients that they put in this cake, I went and bought it I bought it at Whole Foods. And he took a bite and everything, and my aunt said she would put it away for him for when he got home, because he was scheduled to come home. The thing was, the conversation that we had let me know that he really knew he wasn't coming home. And I had given him a haircut. I'd soaked his nails in soap and water, and did his manicure that I used to do for him. He was just so happy, so appreciative of everything. And he said, "You know what? If I had to die today," he said, I would be so happy that of everything that I did. I got to experience things I never thought I would. I got to travel. I got to do all these eccentric things that I never thought I would do. The happiness in his voice was so appreciative. It was almost like he was talking to God directly and saying, "Thank you, Father, for everything that you've done for me. And if you don't give me an extra day, I will be happy." I don't want to get emotional. I said I would not. Just a beautiful soul. If people would believe that if today were your last day, would you make the same choices? The way in which he believed, the way in which he lived his life. He would go out on the porch without a shirt, and he was a heavyset man. And people did not take offense to him and tell him to put his shirt on, because his behavior was not inappropriate. He was just so happy to see other people, and He made you smile and look beyond what he was wearing. If we could live our lives where we can make people feel so comfortable and not have to always put on airs, put on a facade, and just be happy in the skin you're in and be happy with people who come around you. You know, with all the different cultures that God has placed on this planet, if we could come together in our different cultures and share what we know, like the United Nations is supposed to do. I don't know, I'm sure that they are definitely working towards that, but sometimes you have to start on a smaller level in order to emphasize the bigger, you know? One of my favorite movies is Somewhere in Time. It's now he's not the original Superman, but he's the Superman I know. And one of the things that in this movie is he experienced love on a level that a lot of people don't get to experience it. And he went back in time and met the woman that he loved. And when he went back in time, she went back in time first and met him. I don't want to give away the movie, so I think you should go and watch it. Somewhere in Time. It's on YouTube too. Excuse me. This movie emphasizes what love really is. More so than that book I told you by Khalil Gibran, one of my favorite books that was recommended to me by my father figure, The Broken Wings. To experience love on such a level is a blessing, because people sometimes still don't know what love is. I just love just hearing children's voices. Recently, my library had this event and stories. They had authors that came, and you met the authors, and we met illustrators. And the question was asked towards the children, what do you like most about the stories? And a little girl raised her hand and she said, the happy endings. Everyone wants a happy ending. Everyone cannot have a happy ending when you make bad choices. So if we can just emphasize and work on ourselves so that we can make better choices, your ending would be a happier one. You have people who have been taking advantage of other people for so long that they've taken it on as a job. It's a part of them now. And their ending will not be good if this continues. So if we can just try to make a better choice today, then your tomorrow will be so much better. If you like someone today, you can say, I like you, I think you're a nice person, and work your way from there. So much emphasis is placed on how a person is going to perceive you. Oh, they're going to think I am this, or they're going to think I'm that. Whatever happened with just starting off with hello? You know? Lionel Richie's song, Hello, Is It Me You're Looking For? I didn't like that song growing up because to me that song is over. They played it forever, over and over and over. I got tired of hearing that song. But it's still a message in the song. Whether she was looking for him or whether she was looking for someone else, everyone is looking for something. And I think it's happiness. And I also think it's love at times, depending on where you are in life. So if you're really looking to share a friendship with a person, it need only start with hello. My pop could say hello in such a hearty way that it was hard for people to leave him. They just wanted to be in his energy. His energy was so beautiful. You know, I remember giving him his haircut, and you know, I cut off too much in the back on the left side. I'll never forget it. And I said, oops. And he was like, that's all right, baby. Ain't nobody really gonna see that, you know. And it was okay, because he realized that everyone makes mistakes. We all make mistakes. But you can correct your mistakes by just beginning with the apology. We're all human beings and we all make mistakes. And we're all trying to get to perfection. Nobody's going to be perfect in the end. But everyone can strive at being the better person that you know you can be. Strive at being a better person for your children. Strive at being a better person for your wife. Strive at being a better person for your husband. We are all on this journey in life to improvement, And while we're working at improvement, let us start with the basics. Just being human and living our lives out the best way we know how. Okay? That's been my word today. Thank you so much for joining us. This is Indigo Moon. You have a wonderful day. Bye.